Have you ever noticed how something that once felt natural now feels distant? An act that once brought peace, connection, even comfort, now feels rushed, mechanical, or oddly empty. You're not imagining it, and you're certainly not alone. As men grow older, the body changes in quiet but powerful ways. What once worked in your 30s or 40s might no longer serve you in your 60s or 70s. But here's the deeper truth no one talks about. It's not just your body, it's the habits we've carried with us. Unquestioned, unchallenged, unchanged, especially when it comes to one of the most private parts of life, masturbation. Yes, we said it, and we're saying it with respect. Because in your senior years, self-pleasure isn't just normal, it can be vital for your mental clarity, your sleep, your confidence, your sense of being you, but only if it's done right. Too many older men are unknowingly following outdated patterns that no longer serve them, and it's costing them connection, satisfaction, and even long-term health. Today we're uncovering the 7 silent mistakes men over 60 make and how to gently correct them so you can reclaim this space with calm, dignity, and strength. Before we begin, I'd love to know where you're watching from. Type your city in the comments below. And if you care about growing older with wisdom and self-respect like this video, share it with someone who needs it and subscribe for more gentle advice made just for you. Mistake 1, believing in the semen retention myth. Somewhere along the way, many older men were told a quiet lie. Maybe it came from a late-night TV guru, an old friend, or something floating around the internet. The myth that holding back ejaculation makes you stronger, that it builds masculine energy, boosts testosterone, or sharpens the mind like a blade. It sounds noble, powerful even, but the truth as explained by doctors like Dr. Malcolm Hayes from the Men's Wellness Institute is much more human and far more compassionate. Our bodies weren't built to withhold natural rhythms forever. Just like you breathe, just like your heart beats, release is part of being alive. And when that natural release is suppressed, especially for weeks or months, it doesn't lead to strength. It leads to tension, to mood swings, to sleep problems, to pressure in the pelvis that you can't quite explain. For men over 60, these aren't just side effects, they're warnings. Your prostate, your hormones, even your mental state, they're all whispering the same thing. What you're holding in may be holding you back. You see, moderation, not deprivation, is the real key. Healthy, mindful release has been linked to better sleep, balanced moods, improved prostate function, and even lowered blood pressure. Think of it the same way you think of stretching your joints or taking a quiet walk. It's not indulgent, it's care. This isn't about losing control. It's about honoring your body's needs with calm, intentional action. You don't need to save your energy to feel strong. You feel strong when your body's in rhythm, when you stop resisting what it naturally wants to do. And here's the quiet irony. When you let go of the need to prove discipline, you often feel more grounded, more steady, more yourself. So the next time you feel that urge, don't shame it. Don't stuff it down in the name of control. Instead, listen. Respond with care. You're not chasing youth. You're stepping into wisdom. Coming up next, mistake number 2, the one habit almost every man repeats without even realizing it, and how it may be silently dulling your sensitivity over time. Stay with me. Mistake 2, using the same grip and technique. Every time for years, maybe even decades, you've done things a certain way. Same rhythm, same pressure, same hand. Maybe it started when you were younger, when time was short, privacy was rare, and speed mattered more than sensation. And maybe over the years it became second nature, reliable, automatic, comfortable. But here's the truth. What feels familiar isn't always what's best, especially now. Your body, like your mind, is constantly adapting. It learns, it adjusts. And when you give it the same kind of stimulation over and over again, it stops responding with the same intensity. Doctors call it neural adaptation. Your nerves become desensitized to the same repetitive signals. What once felt exciting now feels dull. What once worked effortlessly now takes more effort and brings less reward. That's not aging. That's conditioning. Take Walter, a 68-year-old retired mechanic from Ohio. For years, he thought something was wrong with him, why he couldn't feel as much, why climax felt harder to reach, why intimacy with his partner felt out of sync. The problem wasn't his age or ability, it was habit. What changed everything for him? Variety. Changing up the grip, adjusting the pace. Switching hands, even small shifts, woke up parts of his body and mind that had gone quiet. He wasn't trying to reinvent the wheel. He was simply giving his nervous system something fresh, a new signal, a reason to pay attention again. Think of it like exercise. If you do the same motion with the same weight every day, your muscles plateau. But challenge them differently and suddenly you see growth energy response. Your pleasure works the same way. So what can you do? Start small. Change your grip. Use your non-dominant hand. Try a slower rhythm. Use a softer touch or firmer if that feels good. Introduce a personal device designed for men over 60. There are many made with softer materials and ergonomic shapes that support joint health and reduce effort. This isn't about being experimental for the sake of novelty. It's about keeping your experience alive, responsive, and in tune with who you are today, not who you were 30 years ago. When you give yourself permission to explore, you don't lose control, you gain connection. You stop chasing sensation and start creating it. Your body is still capable. Your nerves are still listening. Sometimes they just need a new language. Coming up next, mistake number 3. The rushed habit that turns something intimate into something mechanical, and how slowing down might be the key to feeling more alive than ever. Mistake 3. Rushing through the experience. Back when you were younger, maybe in your 20s or 30s, there was often a reason to be quick. Privacy was rare. Kids might come knocking, a shared bedroom, a busy schedule. And so for many men, self-pleasure became something done fast, almost in secret. Get in, get out, move on with the day. But here's what no one told you sometimes: that old urgency doesn't just fade with age, it follows you. And by the time you're in your 60s or 70s, that quick fix pattern can still linger, even when the need for speed is long gone. The problem: rushing through the experience turns something deeply personal into something mechanical. It disconnects you from your body. It shrinks the moment into a task. You finish, but you don't feel fulfilled. Take Leonard, a 72-year-old retired school principal from Michigan. He once described it like this: "It was like checking a box. I'd feel more empty after than I did before." He thought maybe his body had changed, but what had really changed was his relationship with time. He had more of it, but he wasn't using it. You see, pleasure is like a conversation. It needs space to unfold. When you slow down, everything shifts. Your breath deepens. Your nervous system relaxes. Blood flow increases. Sensitivity returns. And more importantly, your mind stays present. That moment becomes less about release and more about connection. Try this next time. Don't think about finishing. Think about exploring. Give yourself permission to take your time. Set the mood if you like. Dim the lights, put on soft music, whatever makes you feel grounded. Start with deep, steady breaths. Let your body guide the pace, not your thoughts. Pay attention to sensation. Notice where your mind wanders and gently bring it back. Even 5 minutes of mindful slowness can change how you experience everything. This isn't about trying to be romantic or new age. It's about reclaiming something real. Your pleasure doesn't belong to the past, it belongs to the present moment. And when you treat that moment as something valuable, not rushed, not mechanical, you begin to feel something you may not have felt in a while whole. You've earned the right to slow down, to enjoy, to rediscover. Because this chapter of life isn't about speed, it's about depth. Next up, mistake number 4. Why limiting touch to just one part of your body might be quietly limiting your pleasure. and how to awaken your senses in a way that feels natural, respectful, and surprisingly powerful. Stay with me. Mistake 4. Ignoring the rest of your body. For many men, pleasure becomes focused on just one small part of the body. It's what they learned early on, quick-targeted, goal-driven. Over time, that pattern can become so familiar that the rest of the body gets left behind, almost forgotten. But you are so much more than one zone of sensation. You are a whole system of memory, energy, and response wired from head to toe with the ability to feel. David 70. A retired Vietnam vet from Arizona once put it this way: "For years, I treated pleasure like a light switch, on or off. One point of focus. That's it. I never thought to explore what else might be possible. It's a quiet mistake, but a costly one. When you focus only on one area, everything else goes numb, not just physically, but emotionally too. You miss out on the richness that lives in your own skin, and over time, that narrow habit can leave you feeling disconnected, underwhelmed, or even frustrated. The truth is, there are places on your body, yes, even now, that still hold incredible power to awaken pleasure and connection. Your chest, the inside of your thighs, your lower belly, your neck, and especially the perineum, the soft area between the genitals and the anus. These zones are filled with nerve endings, often overlooked but deeply responsive. When touched with care, they don't just spark sensation, they invite presence. They ground you. They say to your body, "You're still alive. You still matter." This doesn't mean you have to become someone you're not. It just means expanding your map. Try exploring with gentle touch or light massage. You can use your hands or a warm cloth. Try laying your palm across your heart and just breathing deeply for a moment. Try circling your lower belly, or simply rest your hand on your thigh and notice the warmth, the texture, the connection. Some men find that playing with temperature like a warm compress or a cool cloth can heighten awareness in subtle, satisfying ways. This is not indulgence. This is not strange. This is remembering who you are. The body remembers everything. Every hug you gave, every ache you carried, every time you ignored it just to get through the day. Now it's your turn to listen. When you awaken the rest of your body, you're not just unlocking more sensation. You're creating space for softness, for calm, for healing. And in that space, you may find something you didn't know you were missing, a quiet sense of peace, wholeness, and yes, pleasure that feels deeply earned. Up next, mistake 5. Why skipping lubrication might be quietly reducing your comfort and sensitivity, and how one simple shift can transform your entire experience. Mistake 5. Avoiding lubrication. Let's talk about something small yet surprisingly powerful. Lubrication. It's a word that often goes unspoken. Maybe you've thought, "I've never needed that before," or maybe you've quietly assumed it's only for certain people or certain situations. But the truth is, if you're over 60, using lubrication isn't just helpful, it can be essential. As we age, the body changes. That includes the skin, especially in sensitive areas. The natural moisture you once took for granted may begin to fade. The skin becomes thinner, drier, less elastic. And when friction meets dryness, it doesn't take much to cause discomfort or, worse, microscopic damage that reduces sensitivity over time. John 74, a retired firefighter from Oregon, shared this with me. "I didn't realize how much I was forcing my body to keep up with the past. The day I tried a good lubricant, I was shocked at the difference. It was like my body exhaled for the first time in years. That one change brought back comfort, connection, even joy. Without lubrication, touch can start to feel more like effort than pleasure. You might notice a faint burning, a dull irritation, or you might just feel less sensation, less engagement, less you. But with the right lubrication, everything softens. Literally and emotionally, you move more gently, you relax more fully, and your body begins to respond not with resistance but with ease. So what should you look for? Choose a water-based lubricant if you want something simple, light, and easy to clean up. These work well for most people, especially if you're just getting started. If you want something that lasts longer and feels silkier, consider a silicone-based lubricant. It's especially useful if you experience hand stiffness or fatigue, since it reduces friction for a longer time. For those with sensitive skin, look for products labeled fragrance-free, paraben-free, or formulated for sensitive skin. Brands like Aloe Cadabra, Good Clean Love, or even the medical-grade options at your local pharmacy are all designed with older bodies in mind. Avoid petroleum jelly or oil-based products. They can damage condoms, stain sheets, and are harder for the skin to absorb or cleanse. Remember, using a tool that helps your body isn't weakness, it's wisdom. We wear glasses to see better. We use walking shoes for support. Lubrication is no different. It simply helps your body do what it still wants to do with less strain and more satisfaction. So if you've been holding back, maybe it's time to try something different. You might just find that this small bottle unlocks a world of comfort, presence, and connection that's been waiting for you all along. Up next, mistake number 6. Why shame and guilt from long ago might still be quietly shaping your experience, and how letting go could change everything. Mistake 6. Feeling shame or guilt about the act. For many men over 65, shame around self-pleasure didn't start with them. It was passed down. Maybe you grew up in a household where the topic was never spoken of. Or maybe it was spoken of, but only in whispers, with warnings, with shame. Maybe you were told it was wrong, dirty, or weak. And even now, decades later, some of that messaging might still echo quietly inside you. Raymond, 69, a retired pastor from Georgia, shared something powerful. I used to feel like I had to hide from myself, even when no one was around. That old voice in my head kept saying, "You should know better." But at some point, I realized those voices weren't mine. They were borrowed. That's the truth so many men carry. The guilt doesn't come from the act, it comes from the story around it. And that guilt has a cost. It can create distance between you and your body. It can turn a moment of connection into something you rush through or avoid altogether. It can leave you feeling empty afterward instead of peaceful. And over time, it can disconnect you not just from your pleasure, but from your sense of self. But here's the truth, backed by real science and real humanity: masturbation, when done mindfully and respectfully, is not a moral failure. It's a form of self-regulation, of emotional release, of care. It helps many older adults sleep better, lower their blood pressure, calm their anxiety, restore their confidence. And most of all, it reminds them that they are still deserving of touch of attention, of feeling good in their own skin. Letting go of shame doesn't mean ignoring your past. It means choosing not to let old rules govern your present. Ask yourself gently, where did that guilt come from? Was it taught or was it true? You are not broken, you are not too old, and you are not wrong for wanting to feel whole again. Reframing self-pleasure as self-care is one of the most powerful shifts a man can make. It says, I matter. It says, my needs didn't disappear just because I got older. It says, I choose to care for this body because I've lived in it, because it's carried me this far. And that's not indulgence, that's grace. So if guilt has been keeping you small, I invite you to set it down, even for a moment. Step into this chapter with curiosity, compassion, and the quiet strength of a man who knows he is still worthy. Coming up next, mistake number 7. Why ignoring modern tools made for men over 60 might be robbing you of deeper ease, comfort, and connection, and how to choose support that meets you where you are. Mistake 7. Ignoring tools and enhancements designed for men over 60. Here's a quiet truth not many men talk about. As we age, our bodies need different kinds of support, and that's not failure. That's reality and wisdom. But for many men, especially those over 60, the idea of using tools to assist in something as personal as self-pleasure feels uncomfortable. Some fear it means they're less of a man. Others simply don't know what's available. And many, like Frank, 73, a retired Army medic from Pennsylvania, just never thought about it. "I used to think if I needed help, I must be slipping," Frank said. "But one day I thought about my reading glasses, about the shoes I wear now for better arch support, about the cane I keep in the car just in case. And I realized those things don't make me weak. They help me live better." The same is true here. Modern tools made for older men aren't gimmicks. They're thoughtful, well-designed supports that meet you where you are right now, with softness, with comfort, with care. Take soft silicone sleeves, for example. They're designed to replicate the sensation of natural touch while being gentle on aging skin. Many are shaped with ergonomics in mind, meaning they're easier to hold for longer periods, especially for men dealing with arthritis or hand stiffness. There are massagers with quiet motors and intuitive settings made specifically for men with reduced sensation, and warming devices that help increase blood flow, gently helping you ease into the moment without stress or strain. None of these tools are meant to replace your touch or diminish your masculinity. Quite the opposite, they enhance your ability to stay connected to your body, your comfort, and your pleasure. If you're curious but hesitant, start simple. Choose something low-tech like a soft sleeve with no vibration. Just explore texture. Or try a warming gel that creates gentle heat to relax your muscles and stimulate circulation. Use it in private. Take your time. Let your body respond. You might be surprised how much more ease and joy you feel when you let go of the old idea that real men don't need help. Real men do ask for what they need. They adapt. They care for themselves with intelligence, not ego. There is nothing weak about making things easier for your body. There is nothing shameful about choosing comfort. If anything, it's one of the strongest things you can do because it means you're listening. You're honoring the body that's carried you through every season of life. And maybe, just maybe, you're giving it a little bit of kindness in return. Now that we've uncovered all 7 silent mistakes, it's time for the most powerful shift of all, a new mindset and a complete approach to self-pleasure, rooted in respect, curiosity, and care. Stay with me. This is where everything begins to change. If any of this has sounded familiar so far, just type yes in the comments. You're not alone. Your voice matters here. And if this content feels helpful, hit that like button to let us know. Stay with us because at this point you've seen the mistakes. Maybe 1 or 2 or all 7 sounded familiar. That's okay, because awareness is where the real change begins. Now let's talk about something even more powerful than any tip or technique, the shift in how you see this part of your life. It's time to stop calling it just a habit. It's time to stop seeing it as shameful, mechanical, or secret, and start seeing it for what it truly can be, a form of self-care. Think of the things you already do to support your body. You wear glasses to see clearly. You use a seat cushion for back pain. You breathe deeply to calm the mind. You stretch your knees before bed or take your heart medication on time. Why should this be any different? Tending to your sexual well-being privately, respectfully, and mindfully is no less valid. It's no less human. It's no less healing. This isn't about performance. This isn't about chasing youth. This is about coming home to your body just as it is right now. Self-pleasure in your senior years can be slow, gentle, grounding. It's a way to stay connected to yourself emotionally, physically, spiritually. Not just to feel release, but to feel presence, to feel peace, to feel alive. This isn't indulgence. This is connection, vitality, and calm on your own terms. There's a quiet kind of power in that. And the best part, you don't need anyone's permission to begin. Let's take a step back. We've walked through 7 common mistakes older men make, believing in outdated myths, repeating the same routine, rushing through moments, ignoring the rest of the body, avoiding lubrication, carrying guilt and resisting helpful tools. But more important than any one fix is the realization that you're allowed to grow. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to feel better than you have in years, not because you're going back in time, but because you're choosing to meet yourself with kindness now. You deserve pleasure that grows with age, not fades with it. You're not too old. You're just beginning a wiser chapter. So take a breath. Ask yourself, what's one thing from today's video you're willing to try, or one belief you're ready to let go of? Leave a comment below. Your experience could help another man feel less alone. We read every message, and if something in this video stirred something in you, even just a little, please like, subscribe, and share it with a friend. Your voice matters. Your journey matters. And this right here might just be the start of something beautiful.